Hey, thank
Hello.
you so thank you so much for taking time and meeting with us.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I was so excited to hear about your idea when we were talking at RPS workshop. So just I was going through your website and through articles people wrote about you, and it's like really exciting because you're so young. You're like 23.
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
Man, it's insane. Uh, it's like it's amazing. And you started your company 3 years ago, so you were like 20.
Yeah, I was 20 when I started it, although it has taken me a year or two to, I guess, properly get into business. The first 2 years was a lot of learning more about what a business is, what it takes to run a business, and kind of learning more about the product. It's only really been the past year that I would say that I've actually been a business. It does
That's
it, and I think a lot of it's me developing as a person to run the business as well. So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but loved every minute of it.
when have you joined RBS Accelerator?
Yes, so I joined the accelerator in Belfast. I just joined it in March there, so I'm fairly new onto it, but it's been brilliant so far.
So how, like, do you consider this important for a business to be the part of the accelerator, or just nice facilitation?
I think it's important because having an acceleration manager and having someone there to almost hold you accountable and to ask you uncomfortable questions. Because I know if it's just me, myself, in the business, there's sometimes I can get into like a way of working, or I can avoid looking at the bigger picture. Like, say, for example, the last meeting I had, I was so focused on getting the website sorted and getting all this stuff done that whenever she asked me, right, what are you doing in 3-4 months time, that I was like, oh, I haven't thought about that in so long, so they almost take you out of your little bubble sometimes and ask you those questions. And then I think it's great to meet other entrepreneurs and to ask advice, because there's sometimes you might not have been through a situation that they have, and they can navigate you through it, and you can learn from their mistakes. So yeah, I've gotten so much more out of it than what I thought I would have. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, I hope you can have a chance to go and work from office at RBS, because we have such a great offices, right? So it will be nice to at least work from there for some time and kind of just catch up with people and drink coffee and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is something with quarantine we've definitely missed out on. And even I think it'd be great to travel between the hubs. Like, I would love to come over to, Glasgow
Yay!
or Edinburgh, or down to Manchester, and things like that, just to be in amongst the hub.
Yeah, and we can also go to London, I think. So it will be great to work from London and have office in London. So,
Exactly.
so about your product, first of all, how's your company called?
My company is called McAnallen. And I design and manufacture a range of mobility products to help people live a more independent life.
So I seen you have a sock aid to help people wear socks without bent over and even using just one hand. What kind of, are you looking to expand your product line, or you're happy just with this one product, which is very popular among your customers?
Definitely want to expand. I have so many ideas. I would love to start off with a dressing range and really focus on different areas such as buttons and zips and things like that, to help someone get dressed. But I have so many ideas in terms of moving into the bedroom, the bathroom, the kitchen, and even general living, such as like canes in order to help you, or supporting poles and stuff like that around the home. But again, making them, I guess what's different about me is that I don't want to make products that look like a medical aid. I don't want, it was something whenever I designed the product around mum, was that she felt that all the products she had, it made her home feel like a medical ward, and she wanted something that was beautiful and something that blended into the home and didn't stick out. So that's what I want to bring to the market. I want people to have things in their home that don't make them or remind them of their disability.
That sounds amazing, Sarah. I think it's so great. And I like the colors. So you have so many different nice colors. Yeah, I think it's awesome. What about, so it's personal for you, this, you have like this personal connection with your mom, but who's your like target audience? Is it like people with what kind of disabilities? Is it like specific, or is it like quite a wide range?
Well, who the product can help is unbelievably wide. You have from obesity, back problems, an injury, even to anywhere in the lower upper body. You've got heavily pregnant women, and then you do have your disabilities such as stroke or MS, and various other spinal injuries that can all use the product. So it is such a wide range. In terms of my main focus, I am focusing on people with a back injury, or elderly who have maybe arthritis and have less in mobility as to what they used to have, is my main targets. But it's so unbelievably broad, the people that I can help.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. So I had this back injury 4 years ago. I was snowboarding and I fell down and I hurt my back, and I couldn't move, like for not like move, I could move, but it was just like really, really painful. And I think I was in my bed like for a week, and I was on very heavy meds. And for me, it was like difficult to get dressed and stuff. I don't remember exactly what, because it's been a while and I tried to kind of wipe this information out, what kind of like troubles I had. But I remember that I felt quite like not useless but helpless, because it's very, very difficult to do usual things when you're unhealthy and you don't even understand the limitations of what being unhealthy means. And yeah, healthy people I think have serious problems with understanding of problems people who unhealthy in some way like face. So it's really, really cool that you have this opportunity to help those people and bring some good new products. In terms of your customers, how do you connect with them? Do you connect with them through websites? Do you sell your products only online, or you also have like I don't know, some orthopedic stores which can also sell your products? So what kind of customer channels do you use?
At the moment, it is mainly through my own website and selling in person. I do get a lot of recommendations from physiotherapists and things like that who send it my way, and who send customers my way. In terms of interacting with customers, I'm very interactive in all social media platforms. And even with my website, I've got a product suggestion box for people who do have a disability, who don't have a product that can help them, in which I want to give them a space where they can come to the website and they're able to explain the issues they're having, the problems they're having, and then for me then to obviously try and help them as much as I possibly could. In terms of expanding to other stores, I'm definitely in the process of doing that. I'm expanding manufacturing at the moment. I currently manufacture, I hand make everything myself at the moment. So that is something that I am moving. I'm outsourcing very soon, and with that, excuse me, it'll give me the opportunity to, reach a bigger audience and move into mobility stores. But I would love to, I guess the dream picture was to be in the likes of, say, Boots, or even in a shop such as Debenham in the sock area of the store. And the reason for that is because I want my product to not just be in mobility stores. I don't want it to be just seen as a mobility product. I want it to be more normal, if that makes sense, because
Totally.
going off of what you were saying is that, you know, people don't always realize the struggles that are there. And you know, I seen it firsthand with my mum, and I was able to get an understanding of how the smallest things can become a chore. And from that, a lot of people who say have an injury or things like that won't buy mobility products or disability products because they feel they don't want to be branded as having a disability as such. So I want to bring my product almost into a more mainstream market to make it more accessible to more people, to educate that the product's there and the product's there to help. And it isn't something that you should be ashamed to use, or you should, you know, shy away from using as such.
Yeah, I on this topic, I think yeah, definitely. There is a video about people with disabilities and how they've been treated in offices and in office environment, and how companies CEO kind of address the problem of how many people with how they acknowledge how many people are in fact have some limitations in terms of what they can do and what kind of access they need, what kind of I don't know, specific tools they need. And I think, and for example, high fashion, they never produced anything for people with disabilities. And it's like, I think it's such a shame that we have this segregation between healthy people, like, you know, one day you're healthy, next day you're not. And I hope yes, but who knows? And the whole population is becoming older. So I think the more people kind of face this problem with arthritis, as you said, and other stuff. So it's kind of, I think we need to fill this gap between allegedly healthy people and people with disabilities, and make it like just one big society without this different segregation which we have, and it's terrible. I think that one of the reasons I was so eager to talk to you and kind of just bring this topic to our channel, because you're the first person I know who's working and doing something in this question. And I've been thinking about it like for a few years since I watched this video, because it's really, really difficult as a person who doesn't have like big limitations to get this understanding. It's really difficult, and I think people need education in this area to understand that some people need different, like have different needs, and could be limited in their action. To be honest, in fact, I said that I had this incident 4 years ago, but time to time, like once a year or twice a year, I have like kind of episodes when my back is hurting very, very badly, and I lay down for like 2 days or something with like painkillers. So I kind of, to be honest, I can get it. It's affect your life. It's probably, we'll see how it will go, but probably with years I need to kind of acknowledge this state more and kind of give myself more care in this area. So, and I definitely don't want to looking for this kind of products in specific sites. I want to just go to Boots and buy it there. So you go, girl.
Thank you. Yeah, but definitely, like on what you're saying, I completely, you know, agree. This topic's right up my alley. I'm really passionate about it. And I think there's in so many different ways people need to work in addressing it. You know, CEOs need to instill that balance and need to, you know, be examples in their own companies in how to deal and treat with people with a disability, and to not treat them any differently than a normal person, you know, than a normal person. And it's funny even saying normal, because like what is really normal, you know, like, you know, I'm
Exactly.
I'm similar with yourself where I do have lower back pains, and there's sometimes, you know, I use my own product and I have to use other things, you know, and I guess I would be seen as normal, you know, that kind of way. So I think having that what's normal and what's a disability, like that line is so blurred, because everyone at some stage in their life has problems with their body working. I guess on the other side of things, in terms of being a product designer, I think universities and designers in general and architects need to do more to incorporate, you know, people with a disability into their design and into their mentality. And because it's funny, things that you design for a disability actually work better for everybody as a whole if you take into consideration lifts or escalators. Even things like a potato peeler was designed for someone with a disability, but everyone uses it now because
I love potato peeler.
exactly, you know, having disability in your mind and working with people who have a range of ability whenever you're designing or making something or creating something enhances the product, it enhances its use, and it makes it so much better for everybody. So there is so much benefit in having that, and there is a massive movement in terms of ableism, which is what we're talking about is how, you know, people are treated within the disability community, and so much more needs to be done in terms of even policies within government, you know, things such as if someone with a disability, they may get benefits, but as soon as they marry somebody, those benefits are taken away, and it's then the responsibilities put on their partner to, you know, provide for them, which is unfair to the person with a disability because they then feel that they're relying on someone else to keep them, you know, living and moving and
Yeah,
breathing. Takes away more of their independence. So there's so many different areas to this, and you know, it needs to be addressed from every level, from students at university the whole way through to government. There's so many little changes that can be made, and I love that we're having this conversation so that we can educate people on these issues, and get people thinking or researching more about it or finding more information.
definitely. I think it's a really important job you're doing, and I hope you will get this exposure to people, and more people can see and understand that this area needs attention. In terms of your general entrepreneurial journey, have you always been considering yourself to be entrepreneur in the future, or it just happened and you're just like, okay, I'm entrepreneur now?
Mine, I guess, was a little bit of both. Mum always said to me that I'd be an entrepreneur because I don't like being told what to do. So I guess I did always have that little entrepreneur underneath, but this whole journey completely started by accident. I designed products for Mum, and then I went and done a course in order to get a qualification in business. I just wanted to know more about business. I had no intention of starting a business, but I made a business plan around the product, and then was kind of like, oh, this actually might be something, like this is actually needed in the market. And I had seen the products that Mum used whenever, because Mum had a stroke when I was 6, and this is when I was first introduced to mobility products that were on the market. And then as a product design student, you know, 15, 18 years on, there was no change in the market, there was no improvement, and I was going, really, like, this is nuts. Like, why haven't people, you know, thought about the end user, you know, thought about these being in people's homes? So yeah, that the entrepreneurial journey definitely happened by accident, and you know, it was definitely a big shift for me because I kind of, beforehand, I was quite a shy person. You know, public speaking or anything like that was not up my forte. You know, putting myself out there was a no-no. So there's kind of been a change with the business and a change with me, and yeah, it's been a really interesting journey.
I bet entrepreneurship it's really something, right? It's not for everyone, but maybe we also need kind of bridge the gap between entrepreneurs and not entrepreneurs, and kind of make more people doing entrepreneurship, because it's really can change lives, and I think it's very good for economy and for people. So we always ask people who comes to have interview with us if they have anyone from entrepreneurial background in family. Do you have anyone who is doing or used to do entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So on my mom's side of the family, I think there's like 11 businesses. Like it's definitely in the blood. You know,
Man.
my granny, back now this is going back into like the 70s. You know, my granddad had his own business where he was a mechanic, and then he also had a bus business where he ran buses, and then my granny had her own fashion shop. So Eve was, and it was rare at that time for a woman, you know, to have her own store and to be CEO of it and to be running it. So, and then I think from seeing that from their parents, then all my aunties and uncles, then majority of them set up their own businesses, and then from that you can see it then within me and my cousins. There's been businesses set up. Yeah, it's definitely within the blood, and it has been great to go to people for advice and to kind of bounce ideas off of, or you know, does someone say, no, you're wasting your time with this, you know, try this out. So yeah, I think it's definitely in the blood.
It's fascinating, man, it's fascinating. So before, I used to say 85% of people with whom we had interviews say that their like relatives are entrepreneurs. Now I think it's like 90. So all like almost all the entrepreneurs I know were from entrepreneurial from the families with entrepreneurial background. Myself and my co-founder, we're both from entrepreneurial families, and it's kind of, I don't know. I think we can. It's safe to say if at some point in my future I'm gonna have kids, we're gonna be entrepreneurs. It's kind of.
I think, do you know what I think it is? I think it's because we can see the entrepreneurship journey and we can see how it's happened, it almost normalizes it. I think if I didn't see it and didn't see how it all works, I don't know if I would have done it, because it would have felt like a more scary thing to tackle, even though now it isn't for the faint-hearted at all. But by understanding what it's like on a day-to-day basis and what people do and how people work, it gives you an understanding then, and it allows you to evaluate, you know, is this for me, is this not for me? So yeah, no, it definitely influences.
Do you have like aspirations for the future for yourself in terms of not you as a business let's say founder of your company right now, but you as an entrepreneur? Do you have like aspiration in terms of, like, my co-founder, for example, she wants to be in Forbes under 30. So she has like 3 years to achieve this goal, and we work in this direction. I was talking to my boyfriend yesterday, and I realized I want to be, you know, the best entrepreneur ever. I want to be like someone who would be like, yes, this chick knows business, kind of. So, do you have some aspirations for yourself as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, absolutely. I think mine is a little bit more like, I want to like change a conversation. Like I'm really passionate about changing the mindset of disability, and I think seeing it with my mum, and you know, seeing how, you know, she was treated in some aspects, you know, like whenever she got a job, and there was some people said that, oh, she only got the job because, you know, companies have to hire someone with a disability, and it was like, you know, it takes away from a person's ability then. And so yeah, I would love to have a successful business, but I would love to be able to change a conversation, you know, change people's minds, open their minds to taking on, you know, people with a disability, or, you know, embracing them more, or just being a little bit more like empathetic, you know, towards people. But if you see them, you know, in a public building or something like that, you know, people kind of pity them and things like that, and you know, they can be talked down to. And I want to change that conversation. I want to, you know, show that they're just normal people, that there's nothing different or strange or alien about them, you know, and that they're not, yeah, that there's just nothing different apart from what you can physically see.
That's amazing. That's I think that's amazing goal. And yeah, do you share this kind of, have you started this conversation on your social media already?
A little bit. I really should do more. I have to say I would be more. I enjoy talking about it more face to face. So, say for example at pitching competitions, there's I'm the manufacturer I'm going with, only employs people with a disability, and I was telling the judges that, and one of the guys turned around and said, "Oh, if they have a disability, how do you know if they're going to be, you know, if the products are going to be made right?" And it was like, oh, okay. So that was like a perfect opportunity then for me to talk to him and explain to him, but also explain to anybody else listening. So I love moments like that. I love talking about it, because sometimes someone might ask a question or just say a phrase which I'm not necessarily correcting or saying that they're wrong or anything, but just to help them question what they're saying and how they're coming across, to maybe open them up to a different mindset. I do love doing that. But yeah, no, I definitely need to. I have spoken about it on my social media, but I definitely need to do more.
So I think we can move to our blitz part of our interview. It's usually when we ask 5 short questions, and we looking for very short, few words, 1 sentence answers. So first question, how do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself, well, hopefully growing the business, but I would love to be in a different city, traveling, exploring.
Straight after this, I think I could ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What city is gonna be? What country?
Definitely somewhere in Europe. Hopefully moving to France soon. So looking forward to that.
Oh, sounds fun. Okay, what does entrepreneurship means for you?
It means passion, solving a problem, to help someone else.
Good. What is most important in life?
People, family, people that are close to you, that support you and who you can support.
Family, right? So I love this answer. And if you would change something in your entrepreneurial journey, what it would be?
Confidence in myself and my own judgment, and sometimes giving myself a kick up the bum.
I think we all need it. Time to time.
Okay.
Sarah, thank you so much. It was instantly as I met you in RBS, and we had this short conversation about some stuff. I felt this connection, and I'm very happy you agreed to do an interview with me. And I love the work you're doing. I love the whole area where you're putting your talent in, and I'm very happy to be any help if you need some advices in your social media, or how you can share this message to other people. I will be very happy to help. And thank you for interview again, and tell me how people can find you, so I will tell our folks.
So McAnallen.com, and then all social media is McAnallen, and Instagram is with 2 extra N's on the end. So it is. And thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this conversation, and it was the exact same whenever we met in that wee chat room on Zoom. It like we immediately just
I know
so many different ways. No, I loved it, and thanks for having me.
I know. So and social medias, Facebook, website, Instagram, Twitter,
and LinkedIn. Sarah
and
McAnallen.
LinkedIn. So guys, please follow Sarah's company's social media on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and her website. I always struggle with pronouncing it. McAllen, right?
McAnallen, yeah.
No, I'm struggling.
I know it can be difficult. It's like it's easier if you split it up into the Mac and then the and Alan. It's
Okay, Mark and Alan. So
yeah.
guys, please follow Sarah and learn if you want to learn something more about people with disabilities and how they are not different from people without disabilities, and maybe to get some tips how we should handle different social situations with if you see someone with disabilities, because sometimes it can be confusing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get confused when should I help, or it's better if I don't help because a person wants to handle, because it's really important to be able to handle everything by yourself, and sometimes it can be confusing. So I think it's also important information kind of to teach people how they should behave in different situations if they want to behave in the best way.
Yeah,
thank you, Sarah, again. It was such a great pleasure, and they say hi to all our audience, and please keep in touch for more videos with entrepreneurs. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the interview.
Bye
Bye
so
and
much.
have a lovely day.
Yes, same to you. Have a lovely day.